Hello Internet, and today is going to be a book haul video. This is going to be one of my December book hauls. Hopefully there'll be more. So first we're going to talk about non-book items that I got, and then we're going to talk about the few books that I got. So first we have Deku from My Hero Academia. I talk about this show often and reference it often if you watch a lot of my book opinion videos. My Hero Academia, one of my favorite animes, and this is Deku. So let's take him out of the box because I don't need that. And he's just so beautiful. He has his little red shoes, and they gave him like spiky hair because most Funko Pops have like pretty flat, boring hair, but not Deku. He got that anime hair, and they gave him that anime hair. So I'm really excited about this. Next we have an early Christmas present from one of my friends, and that is the Harry Potter coloring book. So we just have the regular Harry Potter coloring book and then the magical creatures one, and I really like them. Like, some of these pictures are really dweebish, like, because they're like the pictures taken from the movies and it just looks so weird, but I love it anyway. And then the last non-related book item is the In My Humble Opinion notebook. This is like a kind of rant notebook that you can have, and it's filled with like quotes on each page and like ups and downs on humanity. And it's just a book in which you can state your humble opinion of where you think the world is failing, so that you can rant cohesively and concisely in this book and judge the world through a journal. So now on to the actual novel books that I bought. Good thing I have that new bookcase, right? Yes. So first book we have is Invasion by Luke Reinhardt. I picked this one up because it just sounds like a really weird, funny book, and it is like this book in which aliens come in and they're going to invade, but like there's this quirky family and like there's this weird alien and just some weird stuff is going on, and it all revolves around this alien invasion, and they're trying to show the US government like, oh, like this is wrong with your political system, but of course the government's like, you want to mess with us, you gonna get some guns. So I picked it up mainly because it reminded me of the Armada, the book premise at the end. You're like, oh, okay. And that reminded me of that, so I picked it up. Plus the cover's really cool. Like, I don't know why that guy has a head but legs. It's a head with legs. Yeah. Not quite sure what's going on there. Next book we have is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I think I said that right. And this one, I guess, is about fairies. From the synopsis, it's like this family and a lot of people disappear through the woods or the gardens or whatever, and a mysterious boy shows up and they don't know what he's doing. They don't know who he is, but they think it might be a good omen, but some think it might be a bad omen. If I'm not mistaken, I picked this one up because it has Latina characters, and I have been looking for more books that have Latinx characters, so I picked it up, and it's really pretty, and this was one of the Our Crate exclusives, so the person who gave it away put the letter in there, so there's that. And then this one has the signed book plate in there, so I don't know if he trades these books at the bookstore I go to, but thank you, because I get to have them. Next book we have is A Torch Against the Night by Sabir Tir. I have not read the first book, even though I own the first book, so I figured that I was going to buy it anyway, and I thought it was like a good investment. I'll support this author. It seemed like something that I would do. Plus, like I said, I don't need to be hard-pressed to buy a book, so this is the second book in the Ember in the Ashes series. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Ember in the Ashes. So this is the second book, and yeah, there we go. The next book that I got is Spare and Found Parts by Sarah Maria Griffin, and this is like a scientist, and he has saved a lot of people by like bioengineering a lot of parts of their body and just like recreating new parts of their body so that they can be saved from some sort of disease. And his daughter just feels like no one really understands her, so she wants her father to build this new person for her. So instead of adding on to a human and giving them like new body parts, instead make a human. So it seems like a fun book. I mainly bought it because its cover looked really cool. So yeah, that's one of the big reasons I buy most books. So next we have A Crown of Wishes by Roshani Chomsky. I butchered that as well. Moving on, so I read the first book of this, which is A Star Touched Queen. I really liked her writing. I liked the atmospheric story. I definitely think there could have been more to it. Point is, when I was reading that book and it mentioned the girl's sister of that book, I remember it had a second book, and the second book was about the sister, and I was really excited to learn more about the sister than I was to learn about the Star-Touched Queen. So I picked this book up because I really do like this author. Even though I mentioned having problems with the book, just story-wise, like storytelling-wise, not so much plot-wise, I was really excited to find this book because I really wanted to see more of her work. So the next book we have is Echo by Pan Ryan. I don't know how to say that name there. I'm sorry. There you go. And this book, I'm not quite sure what it's about. I think it's like about 3 kids, something about music maybe. I picked it up because it said it was a Newbery Honors book. I vaguely remembered hearing about it, and it had this for a cover. So I figured, why not? It was like $5. I think I could spend $5 on this beauty. The next book that I buy is kind of a shameful buy, but I'm not ashamed of myself. I just slightly disappointed, but also really happy with my purchase, and that is Renegades. Now, if you're thinking, hey, I watched your last book haul, and you had Renegades in that one too. Yes, I did. I did have Renegades in that last book haul, and I rebought it. I read the book. I really didn't need to buy another copy, but I did. I have a lot of conflict when it comes to this book, but I did in the end love it. It's like this X-Men type story where Magneto actually wins and he destroys the governmental system. A group called the Renegades come in, try to rebuild it, and now we're under the Renegade rule, and we're listening to the story from 2 perspectives, one that comes from the Renegade Xavier side and one that comes from the anarchist Magneto side. And it was a very interesting philosophical type read for me, and this is the Target edition, so that's why I bought it, because I wanted this cover, because I need it in my life. And yeah, there's really no excuse. I just wanted this version of the cover, so that's why I bought it. I don't know what I'm going to do with my other copy, but I have this copy now and I'm far happier with it, so yay. Next we have The Love Interest, and this is a book of the month. This was May's book of the month, and if I remember correctly, this is about 2 male spies, 2 guy spies, and they're supposed to try to seduce this one girl for the sake of their mission, but they might fall in love instead. I think that's what it was. I think this is an LGBT book. I know I could look, but you can look it up because I'm just wanting to put them on my shelf by now. And the last book that I got is Roseblood by H.G. Howard. And I just bought this because I've heard of it before. And it's the Phantom of the Opera retelling. And I absolutely know nothing about the Phantom of the Opera, but I heard about this book, so I bought this book. Pretty simple explanation for why I buy things. There's no details to them. Just I buy them. Those were all the books that I bought this month. If you have read any of these books before, then comment down below. Let me know if you've read them. And I want to ask you guys, are you guys in a habit of constantly rebuying books just so that you can have a certain edition, even though it doesn't really make any sense? Like, the edition you have is perfectly fine, it's not damaged, but you just want this other edition. You don't buy it so that you can reread the book in that edition. You buy it just so that you can say, yeah, I own that edition. Do you guys do that often? enough? Like, do you do it constantly, or is it just like a one-time thing, or do you think people who do that are crazy? Just curious, you know? And if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue to see more, click all those button-y buttons down below, and goodbye, internet.